Welcome to another video on our journey through DDP Yoga and my quest to get into much better shape than I am just now, to both look healthier, feel healthier, and simply be happier in my own skin. We've got a different camera angle this week. We've got the show logo just behind me there, some figures behind my head, just to give it a bit of a jazzed up aesthetic compared to what we've had before when it was just the blank walls and blacked out windows. This week, the DDP Yoga exercises were hampered because I slipped on the way to work. We were doing, or I did do, to the best of my ability, strength builder and the bespoke workouts, Monday through Friday. But I slipped on Tuesday, landed with the full weight of my body on my right wrist, stretching it back. It's still strained just now, but it is getting better, so hopefully over the weekend into Monday, hopefully by Tuesday, back to where I was. What it did mean though is that I was severely limited with regards to the mat exercises in the Strength Builder program. Did all the stand-up stuff and then modified where I could with regards to doing the on the mat stuff. So things like cat lift and cat arch I could do with most of my weight on the left hand side. The broken tables, when my right hand was the one that was outstretched, I could manage them, but the push-ups weren't happening. Generally the down dog stuff was putting too much strain on it, so I was severely limited. But imagine my surprise when I weighed myself this morning, expecting it to maybe even have gone up a little bit, if not stayed roughly where it was, because I wasn't putting as much effort in as I should have been, where I lost over 4 pounds. I've gone from 279, I think 279.6 it was last week, to 275.2. So it's 4.25 pounds gone. And I was shocked, very, very happily shocked, delighted in fact, that despite not being able to give it 100%, or I gave it 100%, but my 100% wasn't 100% of what I would normally do, that I still decreased by a considerable margin for a 1 week jump of over 4 pounds. So we are now at 275.2. That leaves us with a £10 goal to reach our short-term hypothetical aim of qualifying for the UFC heavyweight division, which is 265. With, I think it's £1 they allow you, or it's definitely half a pound, but I think it's £1 leeway they give you when you weigh in. So we're £10 away from that goal. If I can do £4 a week, then that will obviously only take a couple of weeks. I could have that done by the end of February. Realistically though, I'm going to suggest at the end of March, if I keep on this trajectory, by the end of March I should reach the UFC heavyweight division, hypothetically speaking. If it was literal, I'd get destroyed. I like to think I'm capable in a fight, I like to think I can handle myself, I like to think that I picked up a fair few things through the wrestling training that I've had, and the actual martial arts training that I've had, but I'm no MMA fighter. So Dana White, don't need to call, it's hypothetical. In other news, just to keep you up to date what's happening away from the yoga stuff, in work is going fantastically well. I think I've mentioned it before in these videos, but I love my job. I was promoted to a team manager in June, and that's been a learning experience, but I think I've been doing very well in the position. I did a training course called Train the Trainer. So it's kind of like a course where, because obviously being a manager now, I have to give training to the people on my team. So you do a course called Train the Trainer where the tutors in the course are teaching you how to effectively give training. And I passed that course with a merit. So there's 3 levels, well 4 levels. There's fail, barely a pass, / pass, merit, and then distinction if you get in the top percentile. I was in the 2nd tier, I passed with a merit, I was very happy with that. So that's another string to my bow, another qualification on the CV. Your boy is going places. Where those places are, I don't know, but we'll see where the journey takes us. Away from the work environment, in my personal life, things are going well. I'm still single, but that will change eventually. But at the moment I'm still single. However, that doesn't stop me from doing things that I like to do. So this week alone I've been to the cinema twice. Because anyone who's a follower of the channel overall, rather than just the DDP Yoga stuff, knows that I love my movies. And there's a local cinema, it's called The Gallery in Carnarvon where I live, where they, about a year ago, maybe just over 18 months ago, they had a massive refurbishment. The screens were all updated. They used to have just one small screen, and they would show like the new movies that came out a couple of months after they'd had their general release. But after they got the upgrade and everything else with the screens, they actually show the movies, the mainstream blockbuster general wide release movies, on the weekends that they come out. They also show like classic movies. So I went and saw Rocky Horror a couple of weeks ago, the sing-along version, the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I've been to see Jaws for £1. I've been to see The Usual Suspects for £1. So they do things like that where they'll show classic movies, like a one-night showing of a classic movie, and it's only £1, depending on the movie, sometimes £3 to go and see. It's about $4.50 if you're watching in the US. It's about €4 if you're watching in mainland Europe. This week, Josh and I went to see Sonic the Hedgehog last night, which was Friday night. Absolutely fantastic, fun movie. It is a kids movie, it's aimed at kids, so the criticism people have been giving it of it having a more simplistic story, lacking nuance, well, it's like, of course, it's for 8-year-olds. It's a kids movie, but it's awesome. In the screening we were at, the younger kids, 4 to 10-year-old, they had a blast the whole way through. They were loving this film. The more grown-up kids, like myself, thoroughly enjoyed it also. Being a Sega kid growing up, and I was playing with Josh, it was interesting that Sonic came out in '91, I was 14. When it came out, he's 13 now. So he's the age I was when I first played Sonic. And I've been a gamer for pretty much, I think, since I could sit upright, I've been a gamer. So this movie was a hell of a lot of fun. It stayed loyal to the source material for a lot of it. Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik, absolutely brilliant. James Marsden, fantastic in the straight guy lead human role. The animation and special effects hold up for the most part. And yeah, it's not a high bar. I would say this is possibly the second best video game movie adaptation behind the first Mortal Kombat. And I know it's cheesy, and I know the effects can be lame at times, but the first Mortal Kombat movie is the best video game to movie adaptation ever. Unlikely to be beaten until Uncharted comes out, maybe. I don't know. But we went and saw that. I myself went to see Birds of Prey on Tuesday night. Should have been Sunday of last weekend, but we had a storm here in the UK, so they actually closed the cinema for the evening, so I missed out on it on the Sunday night. But I went and watched it on the Tuesday night, and Birds of Prey is also a fantastic movie. There's a few things I'm excited about with the movie. As you know, I collect figures, as you can see behind me here and with all the unboxings. And Harley Quinn is possibly my favourite character to collect. And with this movie, she's got I would argue she's got 4 main costumes, possibly 6 costumes in total in the movie, 6 outfits. That means a lot of figures. Maybe not as many as I'm hoping, because surprisingly from the Suicide Squad movie, there's a raft of figures of her in her hot pants and Daddy's Little Monster shirt, but there's very few of her in her prison attire. You get some in the cocktail dress from the nightclub scene as well, but there's virtually none of the prison attire one, out with, I believe, a Hot Toys figure. So that was surprising. So they may not do all of the outfits from Birds of Prey as figures, but they'll definitely do the main one from the trailer, the main one from the climax, and the roller girl costume that she had on. We'll definitely do those three, and I'm quite excited to see what they come up with in regards to that. But the movie itself, the movie's great. It was different to what I was expecting. Not necessarily in a better way or a worse way, it was just a different tone of movie than I thought it would be. A lot of it is played for laughs, but it gets dark and twisted very quickly from when you think this is seen as going one way to the other, and it's quite disturbing at times in the best way possible. The Birds of Prey themselves are all great, they all get their moments to shine. Ewan McGregor as Roman Sionis, Black Mask, is fantastic. They did that character justice for the most part. The mask itself, the Black Mask, is phenomenal. And yeah, go and see it. Don't listen to the misogynistic, sexist idiots who are going on rants about feminism gone wild and complaining that all of the men that they meet are horrible. Well, of course all the men they meet are horrible. They're in Gotham and they mix with criminals. They mix with the criminal underworld. Of course everyone they meet is going to be awful. That's their circle. If they were not in Gotham, if they were in Tibet, surrounding themselves in their circle was monks, and all the men were horrible, you'd have an issue. But you don't, because they're in Gotham City mixing with criminals. So of course, pretty much every man they come across is not a good guy. So take your sexism, take your misogyny, and there's no place for it here. The movie is good, go and see it. As for the coming week, we have Red Hot Core and the Bespoke Workout. This is the first week that I will be switching them around. Normally I've been doing the yoga, then the Bespoke Workout afterwards, but because the Bespoke Workout, it ends with knee lifts, high knees, however you want to call them, but just before that it's a lot of ab work, it's various sets of crunches. Because the Red Hot Core is essentially all crunch work to varying degrees, then I'm going to switch them around. So with the Bespoke Workout, till I get to where the crunches would be in the Bespoke Workout, throw the Red Hot Core in there, come out of the Red Hot Core, and finish off with the high knees that I would normally finish off the Bespoke Workout with. So I suppose you could say it's not the Bespoke Workout and Red Hot Core, the Bespoke Workout incorporating Red Hot Core, so it may be a little different. Also won't take as long, because as you know, Red Hot Core is a shorter exercise, but we'll see how it goes. The Red Hot Core is, considering it's the shortest one and you're on your back for pretty much the majority of it, it's bloody tough. It's a tough one to do, but we'll see how we go on. Things are going well. We're on to, this is week 33, so next week, Math Genius here, is week 34. That's 34 weeks, with the only week missed is when I went on holiday to go and see my mum for a week. It just wasn't practical. I did do some things while I was there. There wasn't any of the exercise programs, because obviously I didn't have the files with me, but with that, there was still some stuff done, but that's the only week where I haven't done the program, and that was obviously a pre-arranged week off. Arranged weeks of doing the exercise, that's the only week that I've missed, and that includes Christmas and New Year, includes my birthday, and that's been since June, so we're closing in on 12 months. I'm not where I was hoping I would be after this period of time. but I am a good bit further along the road than I was when I started, and that is to be celebrated. Tune in tomorrow, as I'll be putting a wall art piece together tomorrow. As a lot of you know, having seen some of the unboxing videos and some of the pictures of the collections and other things, not only do I have figures and collectibles, I also have a lot of wall art. Most of the wall art they're not images I created, they're not paintings or anything else, but they're bespoke pieces where I have had pictures printed up and blown up and put in frames or put on canvases and such like. Some are purchased from stores and conventions. A lot of the ones I've put together myself. I've got collage of the Crow movies, the Punisher movies and the Terminator movies. So, well, I say the Terminator movies only. Genesis, there was 5 movies at that point, so I had the 5 movies. Obviously Dark Fate came out, so it's kind of ruined that a little bit, but I had them. I'm going to be doing an Avengers collage. I've got the frame over there, I've got the prints, so I'll do a little video about that tomorrow, so look out for that. Stay tuned for next week's yoga video, see how we got on, see if we're any closer to the UFC qualification goal. But thank you very much for watching, thank you very much for sticking with us. Please like and share the video, because sharing is caring, and I will see you again soon. And don't forget, the competition is still running for another couple of weeks, so check out that video, get your answer to us, try and win some goodies. But have a great end to your weekend, and I will see you again soon. Goodbye.